That was me too. But he survived. We all survived. No one died. 0x. It didn't happen.
Once I hit you with that bad space, you ain't coming back. No control on the bitch, you give me space. I tell. Hit you with that bad space, you ain't coming back. Green flag, green flag.
Stay in second gear. That's not helpful. Maybe it is. Give us a little bit of a buffer to the guys in front of us when they choke up. 500 miles. What we're calling the US 500 is green. Yeah, IndyCar is just, I'm so passionate about, well, to be fair, I was more passionate about kart back in the day. That's why I keep calling this the US 500. But yes, IndyCar is a huge passion. And it kills me that there isn't a, actual IndyCar game to play. So that's why I've got this little rotating ticker at the bottom. All this stuff. I'm keeping track of points after every race. Yeah, just making myself a good old time here. So you don't do iRacing anymore, Kurtz? Kurtz? I guess this is interesting. It's 4 a.m. my time, but I guess this is prime time for Europe. I'm assuming Europe. I mean, if not, forgive me. But you're eating breakfast, I'm assuming. Yeah, the content costs so much. It's been a huge barrier constantly to my entry. Yeah, okay, so I know that subscriptions are half off around Black Friday usually. But that might be for first timers. I don't know. There's definitely a point in time where resubscribing is at some kind of discount. But this is my first year. I just got it. This was basically my Christmas present to myself. I just got iRacing back in December. Or technically January, I guess. That was me too. But he survived. We all survived. No one died. 0x. It didn't happen. We're going to put more weight jacker in. That was me drifting up the track. That's what that was. Okay, that's it. That's the last mistake we're making for 400 and something miles. There's British stock car racing. Yeah, is it actually stock cars? That would be cool. I'm not the biggest NASCAR fan. I don't know if that betrays me there, but I used to like NASCAR a lot, but not so much. F1 in a sim is impossible. Well, I know oh gosh, what's the model of Mercedes from last year? I know it's in iRacing. I don't know if they have AI for it yet or not. This is, by the way, just terrifying. The amount of cars right here. This is like old IndyCar. This is like 10 years ago. Dallara IR05 pack racing crap right here. Sliding up. You can try to post a link. I don't know. I'm not the only person that streams on this Twitch, and I honestly I don't do much of the setup stuff, or I didn't anyway. Maybe in the future I will. But okay, that sent to me anyway. Although I'll have to check that in, 480 miles or something. But I appreciate the link, man. Got my hands full. Oh, Taku's slow. Everybody's slow. Okay, yes. If we could please, for the love of God, space out, that would be amazing. We had a near miss with Malukas there at the start. Oh god, Pato's really trying to shove his nose. The AI is so stubborn about like sticking to its lane in this game. It's just like it's terrifying. Now, to be fair, when I hit Malukas there, that was not on Malukas, that was on me. But I'm just saying, like a couple of times you'll just get punted. Like if their line takes them up the track to the outside on the corner exit, they're doing it whether you're there or not sometimes. So, okay, hang on guys, I thought we were done with the pack racing. Why you gotta fan out 4 wide? Yeah, I race against humans sometimes. I haven't lately because I want to do this IndyCar series. Like I drive the real world races the same week as the real world. And then I filled the schedule with old races that IndyCar used to run but doesn't anymore, like this one. And the problem was though that my old steering wheel died on me. And I had to buy a new one, and it took like a month to get here, and so I got a month behind. And so this is actually the last race. If I get this done, I am caught up because IndyCar's next race is Toronto, and my next race will be Toronto, which I'm very excited for, which is why I'm so stubborn in making sure this works tonight and streaming at 4:30 in the morning. But yeah, occasionally I'll drive against other humans. Like I said, I only got the game in January, so I haven't, I guess, I don't know if you call it ranked up or anything much. In real life, like actual race car guy, no. Never really got the chance. When I was a kid, I begged my mom to like enroll me in like a go-karting league or something, I don't even know what. And so the story goes, she talked to some other mom about, karting and what it's like. And she said, oh, it's not too bad, it's not as dangerous as they say. He's only broken his ribs and punctured his lung once. And that was all my mom had to hear in real life for me never to do it. And so I never got into it in real life from there, but I've always had a very big passion for it elsewhere. So North Ireland. Oh my god, like, and I know you said North Ireland, and this isn't North Ireland. I understand they're different places, but geographically speaking, you're much closer to the Isle of Man than I am, and that's just insane. Have any of your friends that you know in real life run that? Because mad respect for anyone that does that. A little bit high. So the thing with these is that they'll arrow wash off the corner if you're behind a car. Kind of catch you up. The car will understeer, or as they say around my parts, it gets tight. I've got the AI at about between 75 and 115% because it gives you a range you can set them to. So by no means am I trying to like slouch with this. 200. What's the NW stand for? It's definitely something I've anytime I watch TT or a MotoGP or anything like that, I'm just like in awe of the whole thing. It's just like, oh my god, I can't believe humans actually do this. Northwest, gotcha. Okay. Which I guess Ireland, North Ireland would be northwest, I suppose. With the devs. You did? You used to be top 150 in the world in MotoGP? Like, actually, you were a rider, or were you just like a mechanic? Or dang, dude, mad respect, mad respect. Oh, iRacing. Okay, I got you. I missed that. I missed the transition to esports there. I hear you. Okay, all right, okay. Well, still, respect. Not like, you know, putting yourself on a giant, you know, one-seat rocket ship and going like 200 miles an hour through some sort of quaint English town. Mad respect, but still respect. Oh, yeah, driving is much less of a, I guess, mandatory thing over there, in my experience. Like here in the U.S., you gotta have a license to get anywhere. Everything's built on suburbia, right? Like, oh gosh, I'm green light here. Don't kill me. Okay. Whereas over there, not so much suburbia. You kind of. Or do you just mean a racing license? Any license. Gotcha. It's kind of funny how many people who are interested in sim racing I know of who don't have a license in real life. Like the allure of cars and the allure of driving a road car are completely different things. Like, that said, I like driving in real life too. Like, not racing or anything. Not that good, but just, you know, like getting in the car, going for a country drive. It's a lot of fun. Can be anyway. But yeah, it's just a different culture, right? Because over there, you can go for a walk. You get to places. You can't really walk anywhere here. You get run over by everybody else in their cars. Ooh, don't pinch me off. Strodes. What's that? Oh gosh, what's that YouTube channel? Shout out to, oh gosh, I can't think of the YouTube name. It's this channel that all he does is talk about, for the most part, how great European city layout is, because European cities were laid out not around the car, whereas in America everything's based on being car accessible. Oh gosh, I can't think of the guy's name. Good YouTube channel though. I suppose so. There's some kind of, I've heard that before. There's some kind of like geometry thing with street layouts and all. Yeah. And if you believe it too, I think also Denver International Airport, right? Like the big airport out in Denver. Well, alright, we're 10% of the way through, and doing okay. Let's just do this 10 more times, right? 9 more times. Do I stream much? Yes. On at least once a week, unless I've got some kind of malfunction or something. I'm at least doing this IndyCar thing. Whether it's on iRacing or Automobilista. And then, once I get caught up... Is that 5 wide? Come on. And then... once I get caught up with my IndyCar schedule, here's a bad idea. once I get caught up with this IndyCar schedule, I'll probably play more things like Rocket League and Mario and the such. Kind of nerdy, nostalgic kind of games. I do love me some Rocket League, even if I also hate it. Am I 3 wide here? Yeah, okay. I felt like I was 3 wide for sure. Okay, are we doing this again? Okay, cool. Okay. But yeah, no, that's ticker at the bottom covering up my steering wheel. That shows you my IndyCar schedule, and I was running a Formula 1 thing similar to this too, but I just kind of gave up on it for a little while to catch up to the real dates. NASCAR and ovals, racing, iRacing. People panic when others are close. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with NASCAR and IndyCar on the ovals, for one thing, the wall is right there, right? Like, we've just got to make peace with the fact that the wall is right there. And then also, yeah, that you got to get real good at holding your line and being predictable. Even with AI, because maybe especially with AI, because they might be a bit more precise and predictable, but they're also prone to doing things that don't make sense. Like the way a computer reads a situation is just going to be completely abstract to a human, and sometimes you just catch that. It's like, I can't believe you were right there. Yeah, with some exceptions. I'm going to put a big asterisk on that statement. But yes, iRacing's AI is so far from being cream of the crop. Much better than R-Factor 1, much better than R-Factor 2, much better than Automobilista. I don't know Automobilista 2. I've heard good things about its AI, but I don't have that game. And better than Assetto Corsa, I'd say, although I think Assetto is getting better and better with it as time goes on. And the community wants to focus more on this because, man, I grew up playing IndyCar Racing 2, okay? It was a DOS game. It ran in MS-DOS, okay? And, but it had some of the best AI, which, by the way, is part of the lineage of this game. It was made by a company called Papyrus, and Papyrus was bought by Sierra, and then Sierra, I think it was Sierra who sold to the iRacing folks. So there's a little bit of that Papyrus magic in here still. Yeah, especially their new one, Assetto Corsa Competizione. Fun to say. Okay, we've got 4.6 gallons left, but Joseph Newgarden came into pit already. He might just be running the strat, though. Again, there's no yellow flags because they can't do it. They cannot pace on yellow flags. So there's not really a lot of fuel or tire strategy to consider right now. It's, you know, go until you drop. But no, yeah, iRacing's AI is so much better. No, you're right. Sierra is old, and they bought out Papyrus. Papyrus made IndyCar Racing 2, which was my first game to play. I don't know if they bought out, or if Papyrus just changed names, or if there was a merger, or like don't take the legal definition of buyout, but like the lineage is there. Like whoever made NASCAR Racing 2000, that was, I think, their last game. Yeah, I've heard great things about pole position too. For me, it was IndyCar Racing 2, and it was entirely because it was so moddable. I don't know if pole position was. It might have been. But IndyCar Racing 2, it had so many mods and stuff. Just amazing. And for me being, 10 years and under playing that, learning how computers kind of work too, and how they read files, all that stuff. I'm a graphic designer now. That's kind of my day job in real life. And, designing cars and stuff was kind of one of the first things I did that kind of put me on that path. Atari. Oh gosh, okay. All right, we got 3 gallons left. I don't know if it just simulated a bunch of wind or something, but the car really got shaky there for a second. Huh? For me, most of it, well, Ether here, all the graphics you see here and you see on our YouTube page. By the way, check out ETHERxSOCIAL for more of my racing content. That's all me. I'm the graphics guy for Ether. We're like kind of like a startup, I don't know, a social network eventually, hopefully. We kind of want to just be like a friendly social network, not for gamers, but we are all gamers. Anyway, plug aside though, you know, that's kind of my day job. And so any graphic you see here is kind of stuff I do. Yeah, also just 3D graphics with like the way you do the cars and stuff here and all. Although I haven't painted any cars in iRacing, but if you do get Automobilista and you go download Online Sim Racing's IndyCar mod, OSR mod, just about 90% of the skins, the paint skins that come with that game, were done by myself. So that's my little speech. We got a Discord if you want to hang out on our Discord. I can give you a link. I've got it ready to paste into the chat. All I have to do is hit Control V. Calgary. Never been to Calgary. Calgary, I suppose. Been to Vancouver. But that's not quite the same, is it? For good things. I know people in Calgary. I would love to, I need to actually, it needs to stop being that. I need to learn how to do things like 3D art and such, like just to be competitive as a designer, you know, just take my skills where they need to go. All right, we want to pit next lap. We've got 1 gallon. Let's see what these two do. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, Kurtz, you're right. I agree. Like, there's so many things I want to do, and it's just, yeah, you only have one lifetime to do all these projects. I also play music, and it just sucks. And I would love to like get into writing. Gosh. Slow down to make the pits. You got me, you sly dog. You caught me monologuing. Yeah. Oh, what do you play? I play the drums. So maybe I'm not a musician so much as a guy who hangs around with musicians, but I play the drums.
5, 3, 2.
There is something about, I think, the precision and, oh gosh, rhythm of music and the rhythm and precision of driving that I think is very compatible. Okay, Go is a band. Guitar, harmonica, piano. We could start a band. All right, let me not screw this up. Stay under the yellow line. Okay. How bad is the damage from the pit stop? Where's Kanan? He was around us, so I think we're coming out about where we came in. At least relative to Tony Kanan. Your literal mileage may vary. Alt folk rock, post-punk, lo-fi, jazz, blues. That's everything. I didn't see rap or country, which is a good thing. Let me, offend somebody, but not my stuff. I mean, nothing wrong with those types of music. They just don't communicate to me. We got, see, that would cause a yellow. That car down there that ran out of fuel, didn't get back into the pits. And then, because it would cause a yellow, the field would be completely out of order. Half the cars would get a black flag, and that's it. It's just an uncompetitive race. Good friend who plays in Pittsburgh, fantastic guitar player. There are so many good players. I focus a lot on prog rock and art rock kind of stuff. So Rush is my absolute favorite band, but also, you know, Yes. Just a lot of bands like that. I love playing that stuff. Can you go away? I know it's a cliche for a drummer to tell you they like Rush. But, Porcupine Tree, they came out with a new album that I hear is doing well in that part of the world. Gavin Harrison is amazing. Good strike, yeah. A little bit. Oh, I see 24 minutes ago you followed. I'm sorry I don't have anything that like shows up on the screen, but I just kind of manually say thank you. Thank you for following. Sorry, 24 minutes ago I was probably fending for my life. We've got myself, I stream here, and then also right now we've got a guy named Sovereign who comes in here and streams a lot. He's a good dude. Thank you. I used to stream on a channel called Getting Sleepy TV. That's kind of my origin story as a Twitch streamer. And what it was during the pandemic, my family, we were just on a bunch of Discord calls and, you know, quarantining and all that. And so we were like, hey, the only difference between us and a Twitch streamer is that we don't go live when we do it. So we started going live, and that was what Getting Sleepy TV was. But as the quarantine ended, everybody else kind of didn't have either time or the ambition to do it anymore. And so the rest of them kind of fell off and did their own things. But I kept doing this IndyCar stuff. And I was also working for Ether. Like I said, kind of graphics design stuff for them. And it was like, hey, why don't you move your streaming stuff over from Getting Sleepy TV since no one's doing that anymore. And so that's how I ended up here. But it's not all sim racing all the time. It is almost when I stream. I mean, like, you know, probably at least 60% of the content I do is sim racing. But, you know, when Sovereign gets here, I know he was playing, oh gosh, he was playing a storytelling game. I'm trying to remember what it was called, which was cool, by the way. It's a good game. About these, like, college kids who went on, like, a camping trip. It's in the history. I don't remember what it was called, but it was fun. I was watching it. But yeah, we're trying to bring people into this little project of ours, which just I'll have to catch this on the next straightaway. I don't know if you have a Discord, but if you do, and if you know, no obligation, don't feel marketed to or anything weird, but that's our Discord if you want to check us out. We're trying to build a community and all that good jazz. It definitely helps me keep doing sim racing stuff if they see that I'm getting people in the door. But again, don't feel pressured. I hate that feeling where you go to somebody's stream and they like obligate you to, you know, get to their Discord and it's like this whole thing. It's, whatever. It's not for you. It's not for you. I get it. Don't, you know. I'm just putting it out there in case you have an interest. Or anybody else, if somebody else is watching in the background and is like, hey, I want to know what the heck he's talking about, then there you go. But just following me on here is just, man, it feels good to have people to just kind of hang out with and chat, right? Like, I'm a friendly guy. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I really do. Like, you know, because, you know, I did that. I was watching a Rocket League streamer the other day, and he was like, oh, join my Discord. And I joined his Discord. He was like, okay, now play all these Rocket League games with me. And I'm like, I don't wanna. You're pushy. Like, so I try not to come off as pushy, but at the same time, I just feel like, you know, I'm supposed to say something. It took us about half this fuel run, but we've caught up to at least some part of the pack, up to 4th place there. 1st place is already halfway down the backstretch, so Again, with no yellow flags, we're going to get spread out, and it's going to be how it is. But I don't see a way to complete this race in 500 miles, which is kind of the point, without turning them off. Because, okay, why are you holding me so tight to the bottom? That's not very nice. So with you talking about working with developers for games from 2007 and having played an old Atari, I can intuit a little bit that you would have at least been old enough to be around when it was all going on. But have you ever, do you know, like Kart, Champ Car, IndyCar, that whole saga? Oh gosh, come on. It's tightening up on me. The first year I joined IndyCar would have been the year Mansell joined. Yeah, okay. So Mansell joined IndyCar when it was a United Series. IndyCar was sanctioned by a group called CART. Stood for Championship Auto Racing Teams. And there was a big split that happened in 1996. The owner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway wanted to have like a disproportionate control of what the series did compared to other track owners, and CART told him, no, that's not going to happen. And so they split. He said he was going to, start his own league. And so the Indy Racing League, the IRL, came to be, and CART continued on its own, and it just lost the Indy 500 on its calendar. And what they did to replace the Indy 500 was a race at this track called the US 500. And this is just my replication of that. CART was awesome. That's why it lured Nigel Mansell over, right? Like, it was an equal to F1 in just about every way at that time, like at its height. The delivery for nice. I don't think I have the F3 car. I should get it though. I see a lot of people driving. I need to kind of, like, I've been so focused on getting this AI season to work and all these little kinks and making sure that it, is going scheduled, that I have neglected racing against actual humans comparatively. I do, but I need to do more. To that end, I probably would need to buy the F3 car, all that jazz. We've got 6.5 gallons left. We're not. Sorry, that's I don't know how many liters that is. Oh, Connor Daly faked us out, said he was coming in, but didn't. What a liar! I don't know what 6 gallons is in liters for. Some 1/3 of a fuel tank. Put it that way. Well, you can judge. I don't judge you for judging. Isn't that how not judging works? Okay, let's not screw up the pit stop. Whoa, let's not spin out. And down to 55. There we go. Okay. No, yeah, I don't judge. But when I turn something on and there's like a bunch of I just want to watch somebody play a game. I'll be like, let me go watch somebody play Super Mario. Chat with them, But, oh, okay, cool. That was a unsafe release. Anyway, I like Mario Maker. I like watching Mario Maker streams a lot when I'm not watching racing stuff or other stuff. And, when you click on a Mario Maker, well, no, I unsafe released. They click on like a Mario Maker stream and they've got like a bunch of graphics going and all this stuff, and it's just like a lot of visual noise. I'm like, okay, I can't. I need to turn down my weight jacker a touch. New tires are going to be oversteery. Rome last year. I'm trying to peek at that message as I hit straightaways here. Yeah, do you know any jazz? It's a 500-mile race. It's a 2-mile track. Yeah, this is my recreation. This used to be, I don't know, Onic. Yeah, I don't know if you know any IndyCar. This is IndyCar, by the way. But historically, they used to have this race in Michigan that was a 500-mile race. It was kind of a, call it a sister race, a companion race to the Indianapolis 500. So that's what we're simulating today. So far, Kurtz has been here. He'll tell you that in this race, I've only hit somebody once. Okay. Oh, that was almost twice, though. Boy, that was a jump scare looking over to my right. He's right there. Ever watched any of it? Yeah, IndyCar is kind of a niche thing. But I recommend it. I am a huge IndyCar fanatic. As I was telling Kurtz, what I do here on the channel, streaming-wise, it's my attempt to kind of create an IndyCar game, like the way you get, like, F1 2022 or, you know, Madden 22 or any of those kind of games, FIFA. Like, there is no IndyCar version of that, so I use various racing sims to kind of build one out of it. Out of them. The Pro 2000 car you had. I don't... Oh, gosh. I need to go back through. I might have the Indy Pro. And so, every time he does that, I have to get out of it. Okay, let's lure him up and then see if we can't stick it under him. Yeah, it didn't work. There's some kind of bump on the inside of the corner. Which, by the way, that's annoying to deal with as a driver. But as a sim racer, I appreciate that iRacing's AI is exactly that aggressive. Like, that AI knew he wanted to pinch me off going into the turn. It was a defensive move on his part, and it's programmed to understand that defensive move. And that's light years ahead of anything else on the market that I know. Yeah, it was very defensive, and he did it 3 laps in a row, which means it wasn't an accident. He was chopping me. And look at Rossi here in the pink and blue car. He's in the same position, but he chose not to do it. Which means that these, you know, it's reading the aggression characteristics and creating kind of personalities out of the drivers. And again, that's just, you can get cars in R Factor that are more aggressive because they're said to be more aggressive, but for them to be consistent in how they apply it and things like that, I don't know, it's just, that almost felt like racing against a real human. Almost. By the way, my car is extremely loose, oversteery, however you want to put it, like the back end wants to come around on me. It's very weird. I haven't had to deal with that at Michigan yet. I've driven a lot of laps since this is my 3rd time trying to get this race in. So I'm just kind of moving around on the weight jacker a bunch. I guess maybe it's because there's no yellow flags. The car is, I don't know, some characteristic of the car on a long, long run. I don't know if it comes through on what you can see of the steering wheel, but I am really wiggling the turn, just trying not to put in too much steering in. Should go negative on the weight tracker. There's Rossi coming to the outside. It's fine, buddy, but if you put me in a spot where I spin, it's on you. That was better. Maybe we need to stay in that middle lane. No. Got stuck behind him. Taking the high line there has an advantage in that coming off the corner, you have more speed down the straightaway because you didn't turn it sharp. Just kind of turned it into a drag race on him. There was, you were talking about Nigel Mansell. There was a funny interview I heard him do once where he was talking about being a steward at a race that Lewis Hamilton was in. And Hamilton had some kind of problem with the steward. He wasn't the only steward, right? Like, he was one of the race stewards. And Lewis Hamilton had some kind of problem. I don't know, some kind of ruling they made. I don't remember what. And Hamilton looked over to Mansell to try and get some sympathy. Like, you know what it's like out there. It happens so fast, you can't react. Or I don't know what Hamilton's thing was. I just am recalling Mansell's story. And Mansell said, it happens really fast. Huh. What's your fastest lap time ever? And Hamilton said, I don't remember what, but, you know, something like 130 miles an hour or something. And Mansell said, oh, that's very nice. My fastest lap was 240 miles an hour. And that Hamilton kind of just completely dropped it. Because what could you say after that? It was at this track he was referencing. That's my little Nigel Mansell nugget. No, I didn't see Valentino Rossi and Lewis Hamilton as a documentary. I need to watch that. That sounds amazing. Valentino Rossi, no relation to Alex Rossi. No, where is that? I need to watch that. Oh gosh, that sounds amazing. They switch rides? Well, that's okay. So Hamilton was on a motorbike, whatever. I don't know what you call it, a motorbike, like, because it's MotoGP. A MotoGP bike, a two-wheelie boy. MotoGP bike. Okay, I didn't want to use the wrong term for it. That's impressive that Hamilton was switched like that. I remember back in the mid-2000s, Juan Montoya and Jimmy Johnson, I think, no, Jeff Gordon, sorry. Juan Montoya and Jeff Gordon did like a ride swap kind of a thing at a test session at the Indianapolis road course, which I think that's going from F1 to IndyCar, that's very different. Going from F1 to NASCAR or F1 to MotoGP, that's different. That's extremely different. Where are you going, Scott? Yeah, I heard that once. I didn't remember that it was Ferrari, but I definitely remember that Valentino Rossi was rumored to do F1. There was R-Factor 1 back in the day, exceptionally moddable, right? Just highly moddable. And I created this race of 42 cars. I always do 42 cars. It's good enough. But that aside, I did this like super series of like the 5 to 10 best drivers in each category. And yeah, Valentino Rossi was of course one of the cars. And I remember thinking it was, you know, a pretty obvious addition because he's so dominant in MotoGP and coming over to F1. That must have been around like 2013, probably. Because that was the year I did that. Didn't stream it or anything, just was a little side project I did. No, probably about, what, 15 laps short, give or take. Unless we figure out how to conserve a bunch of people, but I'm not in the mood for that. Getting better at coming off the banking there and hitting the miles per hour.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Too far forward? Yeah, no, that's a pretty good stop actually. Come on, Nifty, give yourself credit. That one wasn't bad. But when I did my Road America race, I smoked the tires and just did a loop. That was pretty embarrassing on street. Looks like we're going a lap down to Sato. Oh, but he's coming in, so get our lap right back. No, he lied. All right, I'll give you the inside line. That's totally fine. Follow Scott around here for a bit. Sessions. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got you. It's interesting that you say capitalism was taking hold. That's an interesting way to phrase it. Because, like, I mean, you know, the 20s, and, you know, the era of robber barons, you know, Charles Dickens novels. That was definitely some unfettered capitalism there, but I digress. I try not to get too political on Twitch. But I get you. It was a whole counterculture thing, which I do feel like we're kind of due for one of those a little bit. There's definitely some discontent among the younger generations with the, what would you say? Yeah, that's the thing, is that as, oh, you're fine. You just got to give me, you got to give me a couple straightaways to read them. Kind of pushing out. The music really suffers. I think that's part of it. I think you're right that there's a lot of comfort. Like, as long as everybody's got their iPhones and their, 5G, there's not going to be a lot of political upheaval, But at the same time, I think there's two things that are related here: the music that is a regurgitation, and the fact that you said capitalism takes hold. My favorite band ever is Rush. Okay, a phenomenal band. I won't hear anybody trash talk them. They were amazing. And the thing is, though, is that they weren't very commercially viable on their first 3 records. Their first record was all right, but their second record didn't gain sales. Neither did their third record. And by the time they were making their 4th record, they were on a tour. They nicknamed it the Down the Tubes tour because they thought, it was done. They were gonna break up, like not break up, but like they were gonna run out of money and have to go back home. All that stuff. And so on their 4th studio album is when they finally had kind of a breakthrough. That's the album 2112. And it was kind of a giant middle finger to the record company because they said, we want you to play more pop music, more, radio-friendly stuff. And they were doing long, progressive suites at the time, like 20-minute long things. And so they basically told the record company, we have a 4-record deal. We're going to play the music we want to play. And if you don't like it after 4 records, whatever, we're gone. It's kind of how they figured it. And it just so happened that 4th record was 2112, and it was a huge hit, sort of on an underground level. Now, I bring up this story because I know of no artist now that gets 4 albums to figure out how to make a successful record. I don't know many artists that get more than like 2 singles before making a successful record. And I think there's, with musicianship and with studios and marketing the way it is, new artists aren't given a chance to develop, either together as bandmates or as, collaborators or independently. And, like, it's just like you've either got to be Justin Bieber off the hop or you're gone, right? Like, and I just think that's killing the whole industry. Oh, yeah, for sure. You saw the rise of just amazing music. Yeah. You're saying you were there in the 60s and 70s and 80s and the counterculture movement. You've seen so much change. I'm a little jealous because, I reached adulthood in the late 2000s. But, you saw so much music rise to prominence. That's just kind of my point about, like, I think it's so commercial now, I guess is how I'm saying that. So I wish people were more inventive. That's why I listen to progressive music. But I've seen so many great, obscure artists just come and go because there's just no support. It has to be immediately successful. Like, how can you be innovative as an artist if you have to sell, 1.5 million units by the end of the 4th quarter? You know what I mean? On your first record, like, no, that's not going to happen. For one thing, you're stifling the creative environment. So that's why I think, especially in the U.S., I know it's different elsewhere, but that's why you get so much country music. It's safe. The record company knows if you sing about a pickup truck enough times, people are going to buy it. Like. And so the whole industry is built up on that, just. Anyway, that's my rant. Thanks for coming. I remember recording in a studio where the producer that we had on the record for the EP, he had a sign on his wall that said, "Don't get stuck in the circle of suck." And at the same time, he would tell me, and he wasn't completely off base, right? But he would tell me things like play less, be less complicated when you're playing, things like that. And I just couldn't help but think to myself, is that not the circle of suck? Like, intentionally like sandbagging your abilities and your creativity in order to try and create some kind of like pop music record. Now, to be fair, I was young, and a lot of my parts I was absolutely overplaying the crap out of it. Like, I think young drummers just feel the need to play way too much. But I gotta tell you, even now, like 10 years later, I look back on that period and I'm like, I feel even now, I was still more right with my hunches about being extremely creative than I was wrong. There were times I was completely wrong, and I was way overplaying stuff. Like 100%, this guy was right to call me out a couple of times. But, you know, every song was that way. I had to like kind of completely rewrite parts in the studio to kind of scale them back, and I'm just like, but no. So, I mean, we didn't fight, because I'm not somebody that actually gets in a fight, but, you know, I explained my displeasure, and then I went to work, because there, even if I want to be bigly creative or whatever, I do also appreciate the advice of people who are quote-unquote experienced, and so even if I can't see where it's going, I trusted that he did. And to be fair, when we got done recording that album, it sounded great. It's sonically speaking, it's still, like, I love the work. I can keep time. Hang on a second. I know you've typed a couple of paragraphs and I'm not there. Yeah, exactly. A creative project will never appeal to everyone. If it's groundbreaking, that means it doesn't have any ground to stand on, right? Like, this is new ground. And, like, I talk about, you know, progressive rock and stuff like that, but even pop music, you go into the 80s, man, all sorts of weird sounds were coming out of that time. They were going straight to the radio, but, like, people were allowed to experiment. Like, oh, synthesizers, let's make those sound weird. Like, yeah, I do my best to stay in time. It's been a long time. That was kind of a career I kind of let go. I think probably yourself too. It's one of those things where if you're a musician and you're in your early 20s, it's like, hey, why can't I be, you know, that musician? Why can't I do that for a living? And then, you know, the bills start coming in and you're like, oh, that's fine. I wanted to read that, but Rossi cut onto the inside of me here. Keep time on a harmonica. Yeah, that's another thing too, is that, and I don't have a problem with playing to a metronome. It's good exercise, right? Like, to keep yourself in check. Turn off, like, play with the metronome for a few bars, right? Mute the metronome. Like, I don't know, be able to tap it real quick with your finger or something. Keep playing, and then unmute it. And how far off are you? You know, just those kind of things I would do to myself a lot. Now, I do know that live I had a tendency to push the music I was playing a little bit when it was especially really heavy. But that was almost a stylistic choice, because, I don't know, it just amp up the live environment. But if it was really like time to go in the studio or something, no problem with that. I'm just going to keep it on there. Rossi and I are having a pretty good slugfest here. Alex, not Valentino. Bebop and 60s blues. That's cool. Oh shit, I need a pit right now. I almost ran out of fuel. Monarchy of Roses. It's off of, oh gosh, I don't know what album. I mean, to be fair, it has prominent drums, so I'm sure that kind of helps.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
That album came out like 2012, I think. Not super new. It's going to be interesting to find out where Sato ends up in the running order at the end of the race. It's going to be like a lot of people. There's a lot of fuel strategies going on, which I guess that's IndyCar, right? You turn on an IndyCar race and there's a lot of different strategies running simultaneously. But like, we exited the pits, we were 11th. Now we are 9th. You know, there's different pit stops going on all the time here. It's going to be interesting to find out. I'm just running the tank to empty and seeing where that lands me. But right? And what I liked about Monarchy of Roses was that it was kind of all cohesive. It all kind of came together. Every piece was complementing every other piece. To me, it sounded like anyway. So. Just two guys were the Bratman, Omar Rodriguez. Who was he with? Oh my gosh, Mars Volta. Holy crap. That is a headache to try to play. Like, I'm just going to straight up level with you. I'm not good enough to play with the Mars Volta. I'm just not. Nope. No, sir. I did not get a calculus degree. Oh yeah, I have Francis the Mute. It's a great album. I just can't play it. That is an enormous amount of talent in the Mars Volta. Just ridiculous. Just the chops that those guys have in every way. It's just humbling. Hello up there is fourth position. He's the, I don't know if you follow IndyCar at all, but lately, the car in front of us here, Alex Blow, has been in a ton of drama in real life in IndyCar. It's pretty funny. Wow, he really must have scared him somehow. He dropped way back after I made that pass. The G29 is definitely not a bad wheel for like a casual racer or a beginner, that kind of level. Like it'll get you going and it teaches you all the important things. But after running that for like 7 years or so, it finally crapped out on me. And it didn't actually crap out on me. It just the pedals, one of the sensors stopped working perfectly, but I couldn't figure out how to fix it. And so I spent a month shopping and ended up with this guy. Space Sims. Oh, like flight games. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I used to be more into those, but I kind of specialized into racing sims. Meters. Yeah. Okay, a 2 meter square room with all that stuff would be pretty dense. Okay, that would have probably stalled in real life. Not good. All right, this should be the last full tank of fuel we need. I've got a C on roads and a D on ovals. I just haven't, honestly, just haven't tried much on ovals at all. And then road course racing, I got the C license the first season or whatever, and then I haven't really raced online much since then. Again, look, it's like I was saying, my Logitech died, and then I had to catch back up with this silly season I've got going on here and all that. So I am okay, guys. How are we negotiating this? I don't want you to slam on the brakes and go to the pits right in front of me. That would be devastating. All right, Jim Jam. Wow, 42nd? I expected better than you on an oval. ARCA, though, huh? I wouldn't expect ARCA to be good for your safety rating, but what do I know? Yeah, exactly. I think I would have to basically make my peace with losing safety rating going into an ARCA race. Just 48 laps to go, by the way. That's 50 times 2, 100 miles-ish. Yeah, I'm sure. I remember doing ovals in some open wheeler, I don't remember. And yeah, just hair pulling, because I know how to, I mean, whether or not I'm good at it, I know the general characteristics of how you need to drive an open wheeler on ovals, gestures towards the screen. And a lot of people don't. They treat open wheelers on ovals the same way they treat either open wheelers on road courses or stock cars on ovals. And it's just like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? This is different entirely. These are actually two cars for position, the one right behind me and the one right ahead of me. It's, that's different. We've been dealing with laps traffic a lot lately. That's Montoya. Speaking of him earlier in the stream, he still putt-putts around IndyCar on a part-time basis in real life. That's definitely Francesco not making it to the pits. So who's winning? What's going on? Tony Kanaan is winning. Simon Pagenaud, Santino Ferrucci, Scott Dixon, and myself. Some old school names up there. When I was doing all that math like 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago or however long it's been, and I said we were going to make our last pit stop on lap 238, I know it took me a while to get there. But, yeah. I think, way to go, Nifty. That was good mathing right there. That's the plan, boys. We'll actually probably come in on like 237, but that's pretty close, right? I think I missed some messages. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Just trying to figure out what was going on with the stream there, and I tried an outside move. Okay, let's limp down to the bottom. Hello? Am I streaming still? I was trying to see if the stream was still working. I did. I missed you. Yeah, I use a laptop to keep track of the chat, and it totally just it went away. And while I was trying to figure that out, below it stuck to the outside, and my car understeered. That's why it's part of my badness. Is why I run without damage on. Like, you know, it would suck if that was the end of the race. Oh, okay. Heard a foreign accent and took advantage. That's the last I heard. Yeah, that's rude. So, it always seems like every race I end up crashing somehow. And I think that one was my fault because I wasn't even paying attention. I was trying to figure out what was going on with the chat.
Right here.
Although that said, he was in a very annoying place for part of the lap now.
Okay, go.
I'm pretty sure it was me. I mean, I didn't see either because I was trying to refresh the page on my laptop. I keep a laptop next to my computer monitor. And I was, you know, on the trackpad there trying to refresh the chat because it kind of crapped out on me. And all of a sudden he was right there and I was understeering up into him. So I'll look back, but I'm about 90% sure that would be my fault. I understeered. I was on old tires. He was coming around the outside, and it just happened. Oh well. We keep going. Either of the poles. One more to go. One more lap of Michigan, and then we can put it to rest. I think we're pretty well locked into. Oh, I don't know. Passchenau is probably actually in 6th. This is coming on the track here. That pink car might actually be for position coming to the checkered flag. Let's try to get him just in case. It's going to be close. We got him. That wasn't for position. Yes, it was. That was a spot right there.
Checkered flag, checkered flag.
Test icicles. Ah, I get it.
Solid work.
All right, so with only one incident over 500 miles, and it's probably a 4X, right? Yeah, 4X. That's not bad. Well, now it's more X's. Thank you, Pato. Yeah, that's 100% on me. That was me looking down at the chat in the red car on the inside there, and just drift. I didn't know he was there, and I drifted up. But then we're able to. I don't think anybody else got collected in it, so that's good.